Today we're going to talk about the biggest lie about weight loss, dieting, and trying to lose your belly fat. This lie has been going around for decades. You may have accepted this mainstream lie because it's taught in all the different universities and continue to use it over and over again. What is this lie? It's this. Weight loss is just a matter of eating fewer calories than you're burning. There is no one bad food. Everything in moderation. Have you ever heard that? A lot of this has been perpetuated by the junk food industry. And one of the big problems with eating something in moderation is all it takes is a little bit of the wrong foods to keep you wanting more. Today, I'm going to completely dissect, or actually demolish, this theory that a calorie is a calorie. Let's first dissect this on the area of hormones. There's a hormone called insulin. And insulin has a very specific job. It tells the calorie where to go. If your insulin is high, the carbohydrates that you eat will be stored. If insulin is low, those calories will be burned. What triggers insulin? It's carbohydrates. If someone tells you that there's no difference between 100 calories of this meat, okay, versus 100 calories of this soda in relationship to your hormones, they really are lying to you. Because if we compare these two different types of calories, insulin is going to be triggered with this much more than this. And I remembered in practice working with lots of people, and they would come in and say, I'm not losing weight, Dr. Berg. And then I would do a food log and I would ask them, what did you just eat? And they said, well, I just had a little bit of carbs. Come to find out, it was a glass of wine, a little bread, but they said it wasn't that much. What they didn't know, which I eventually told them, is that all it takes is a little bit of carbohydrate to raise that insulin to then prevent the burning of fat. That fat loss is shut off for a period of time. The other hormone that's related to this is cortisol. That's a stress hormone. Cortisol will indirectly raise your insulin. It's coming from your own body. It's coming from the liver. Not to mention the cortisol prevents you sleeping. And by the way, most of the fat burning that your body does is during the deep sleep. The other factor I want to mention is fiber. Fiber is another variable that can help reduce the spike of blood sugars. For example, if you ate an orange versus orange juice, you would get a big spike with orange juice, but not necessarily the orange because of the fiber. Another reason why you can't say that all calories are treated the same regardless of source. Like even with this right here, this is industrial starch, highly refined. It's classified as a complex carbohydrate. When you consume it, it really jacks up your blood sugar extremely high versus more of a whole food starch that's not highly processed, like maybe a potato that's steamed is going to act very differently than industrial starches. The more processed it is, the more you're going to absorb the calories. And I also want to talk about, this is cod liver, and this is a very high source of omega-3 fats, okay? Super healthy. It supports the brain. It does wonders for your body. Now, if we compare another fat, okay, right here, Crisco, if we took the same amount of calories for this and this, they have completely opposite effects. The other thing I want to talk about is appetite, right? If you are eating calories that don't satisfy you, you're not going to be able to continue that diet. It's going to be too unsustainable. Why? Because you're hungry all the time and you're craving for sweets. The more nutrient dense a food is, the more satisfied you're going to be. So again, the source of the calories matter. There's very little nutrients in this. There's a lot of nutrients in this right here. The amazing thing about cutting your carbs down and lowering insulin and burning your own fat, your cravings go away. It makes it very easy to go long periods of time without eating. There are people right now watching this and objecting to some of the things I'm saying, and I want to address that right now because there are people that are metabolically flexible. They might be younger. They might be more of an athlete. They might exercise more. Well, guess what? Those people can tolerate more carbohydrates than other people. What I'm talking about is the person that has difficulty losing weight. They struggled, and this entire calories in equals calories out is not working for them. Then we have the topic of different types of sugar. You have glucose, you have fructose. And I just want to touch on that for a second, because when you consume glucose, all of your cells can metabolize that. When you consume fructose, only the liver can deal with that type of sugar. If you're doing more high fructose corn syrup, which is definitely not natural, we're overloading the liver, and that is definitely a different source of calories versus something like honey, which means that the high fructose corn syrup is going to create a lot more inflammation because it doesn't have the normal natural antioxidants and the other things as nature has provided. In nature, if something has sugar in it, it's also going to have protective factors in it as well. And those would be like the antioxidants in fruit, in certain vegetables that can protect you from the sugar. In summary, if you're trying to lose weight, especially midsection weight, and you're struggling, and someone is really pushing this focus on your calories in, calories out theory, you might want to take a step back and try something else, like going on the healthy version of the low-carb ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting. And because it's low carb, it's going to be easy to go from one meal to the next. That way you're not snacking through the day.